Hello everybody, how y'all doing? My name's Raffle and welcome to today's video. And today's build is really different than every other build I've ever done on this channel. And that's because this build is actually garbage. It's not a good build. Please do not use this build, especially if you play with other people. Please don't run this build on Countdown. Please don't run this build pretty much anywhere except your own world when you play solo all by yourself doing control points and things like that. If you want to mess around, what I wanted to do with this build was pretty much get as much bullets into my original magazine and then use frenzy just to see how crazy it can get once it procs. And I think I did that quite well. However, because in order to achieve those 400 rounds in my magazine, I had to go with 3 Patriot pieces and 3 Brazos de Arcabuz or whatever it's called. The end result when it comes to damage isn't really that great. I'm running, I think, 3 red cores and 4 blue cores. Ideally, you could get 6 red cores. However, Brazos de Arcabuz is a really bad branchet when it comes to getting it to drop with the rolls you need. So I just gave up after some time. I'm running, I think it's Obliterate, and I don't remember the name of the second tile. I think Unstoppable 4, something like that. The damage, as you can see, is not great. This build is not about damage. This build is just about this moment you're about to see very soon once I reload and get all that insane rate of fire and that pretty decent increase in my damage. I get 120% increased rate of fire as well as 120% increased weapon damage. So when Frenzy actually procs, it's really good. Now, you can make it work, as you can see here in the gameplay. It's not like this build will not allow you to clear any content. However, I don't see the reason why anybody would want to use this unless they just want to mess around and see how crazy the RPM can get, just like I wanted myself. So yeah, a completely different build today. I'm not here to tell you this is a good build. It's not. There are much better alternatives out there. However, I have to say, when Frenzy actually kicks in and when you start getting that increased RPM and that increased sound in your headphones when you're shooting at such a high RPM, it's a really fun build. Like, I don't know, I just had a lot of fun with it. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it, let's just show it. I'm gonna say that, don't use this on Countdown, on Legendaries. Don't use it anywhere when it comes on matchmaking with other people. Maybe use it all by yourself, but that's all. Like, don't use it with other people because they're gonna be mad, and rightfully so. I didn't want to promote this build as something good or something great. It's not, if we're being honest. It can be just fun for those 5 seconds once Frenzy kicks in, but under that, it's a pretty bad build. So let's actually see my pieces. So here is the build. As you can see, nothing crazy if we're being honest. 3 true Patriot pieces for the 30% mags inside. 3 Brazos de Arcabuz pieces for the plus 20% magazine size on it. I have 2 red cores on my true Patriot pieces and then another one from the plus 15% weapon damage attribute on the Pico's holster. So this build performs like it has 3 red cores and 4 blue cores. When it comes to my stats, 50% critical hit chance, 103% critical hit damage. Ideally, you could get more red cores in here and have this build do a lot more damage. However, Brazos de Arcabuz is not a branchet that likes to drop the way you want it to drop from my experience. Since this branchet came out, I've been struggling to get actually pieces the way I want them, so I was tired of trying. But the true Patriot over here could easily be changed. I just liked having a bunch of armor since we're gonna take so long to kill enemies, right? So, mask, armor, critical hit chance, 12% critical hit damage mod, gloves, 15% weapon damage, 10.4% critical hit damage, knee pads, 15% weapon damage, 4.4% critical hit chance. The Pico's holster, of course, 170k armor, 12% critical hit damage, 15% weapon damage. Then on the chest piece, I went with Obliterate. We have another blue core here, 170k armor. Headshot damage, sadly, I couldn't recalibrate it. I have changed the talent already. Otherwise, this over here would have been critical hit damage, some critical hit chance, and another 6% critical hit chance mod. And last but not least, we have the backpack, 139k armor, 5% critical hit chance, 12% critical hit damage, and another 12% critical hit damage mod. Unstoppable Force wasn't my ideal talent. I would have much rather have something like Vigilance here. However, then I realized that I'm going to be taking a bunch of damage, so let's just go with Unstoppable Force. If you can keep it up, it's going to give you a 25% increased weapon damage, which is very, very nice. It's pretty much like Vigilance. And then, of course, on the weapon, the GR9, 13.6% LMG damage, 9% damage targets out of cover, 10% magazine size, and then we have Frenzy. For every 10 bullets in the magazine capacity, gain plus 3% rate of fire and plus 3% weapon damage for 5 seconds when reloading from empty. This is a very important part over here. When reloading from empty, do not get confused and reload if you have any bullets in your magazine, because that's going to be a whole lot waste of time, if I'm being honest with you. It takes quite a long time to empty those 400 rounds, especially when you don't have Frenzy at the start of your magazine, where it gives you that extra 120% rate of fire. So yeah, you want to be careful of that. One more time, in case any of you are interested in actually copying this mess over here, we get 20% magazine size from the 3 pieces of Brazos the Arquebus. We get 30% magazine size from the 3 pieces of True Patriot. We get 10% magazine size from the attributes on my LMG, and then we get another 50 rounds from the gunner specialization, from the gunner attachment, which is this one over here. And that's it pretty much. You can use this with other LMGs as well. I think the GR9 is one of the LMGs that come with the highest amount of bullets in their magazine in the first place, so that's why I decided to go with it. But yeah, overall, very, very fun in my opinion. You can get some insane RPM, you can get some very, very fun moments. But as I said, don't try this when you play with other people. It's not gonna work. The enemy's gonna have much more health, you are gonna be doing 0 damage, you're not offering anything to your team. You're just gonna have to get carried by your teammates, and that's not something you want to do. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye bye.